Most people begin their manifestation journey with an eagerness to look for signs, as if the universe will drop a hint, a feather, a number sequence, or a sudden coincidence that says, yes, you're on the right track. And while signs can be beautiful reminders, the truth is that chasing them keeps you in a cycle of waiting rather than creating. When you constantly ask, "Where's the sign? When will it show up?" you are reinforcing the idea that your desire is separate from you, that it exists somewhere in the future, and that you must be given permission to step toward it. But quantum reality doesn't work that way. The universe responds to your state of being, not to how many external confirmations you collect. Think about it. If you're always scanning the outside world hoping for validation, then you are unintentionally sending out the frequency of doubt. You're saying, "I don't fully trust this until I see a sign." That vibration communicates lack and uncertainty, and that's exactly what the field reflects back. It's like standing in front of a mirror and waiting for your reflection to smile before you do. The reflection will only ever show you what you already are, not what you are hoping to see. Signs work the same way. They mirror your energy, but they don't move you forward unless you are already aligned. The reason so many get trapped in this habit is because chasing signs feels safer than fully stepping into belief. If you keep asking for proof, you don't yet have to own the responsibility of embodying your desire. It's easier to look outside yourself than to face the inner shift required to live as though it's already done. But the very act of chasing proof delays the arrival of your manifestation. It's like standing at the station, staring at the schedule board, waiting for it to update, instead of simply boarding the train that's already waiting. The deeper truth is that signs are not instructions. They're not cosmic traffic lights telling you when to stop and when to go. They are simply reflections of your current alignment, breadcrumbs that confirm where your energy is, not where it should be. If you see repeating numbers or hear a phrase that resonates, that's wonderful. It means you're attuned enough to notice the universe's feedback, but the moment you start depending on those signs to feel safe or certain, you hand over your power. Your quantum reality doesn't wait for signs. It responds instantly to your vibration, your emotional state, your embodied belief. The danger of chasing signs is that it keeps you locked in a pattern of seeking rather than receiving. The energy of seeking says, "I don't have it yet." The energy of receiving says, "It is already mine." And the quantum field is always listening. When you stop searching for clues and instead live in the energy of already having, you collapse the waiting time. The manifestation comes not because you collected enough signs, but because you became the person for whom it was inevitable. So the first shift is this. Instead of asking, "Where is my sign?" begin asking, "What is my state of being?" Because the truth is, when you align your nervous system, calm your doubts, and embody certainty, the signs often multiply naturally. But by then, they don't matter. You don't need them, because you already feel the reality within you. The greatest freedom comes when you no longer chase signs but realize that you are the sign, that your inner alignment is the only signal the universe requires. And in that moment, you stop waiting for the mirror to move first. You smile, you embody, and reality reflects it back without resistance. The truth of quantum manifestation is that your reality is not created by the signs you chase or the external circumstances you monitor, but by the state of being you hold within. The quantum field is always alive, always responsive, always reflecting back to you the vibration you consistently embody. This is why some people seem to manifest effortlessly while others struggle endlessly. It's not that the universe plays favorites. It's that the universe cannot help but respond to the frequency it is given. Your inner state, your emotions, your thoughts, and the energy you radiate are the blueprint the quantum field uses to shape your external experience. If you are waiting for proof that your manifestation is coming, then you are radiating waiting. If you are anxious about whether or not the universe has heard you, then you are radiating doubt. And if you are desperately looking for signs that things are moving, then your vibration says, "I don't believe it's here yet." That state of being communicates louder than any vision board, affirmation, or ritual. The field does not respond to what you say you want, it responds to what you energetically are. And the paradox is that once you truly step into the feeling of having, you no longer care about whether a sign shows up or not, because your nervous system already feels safe satisfied, and aligned with the reality you've chosen. It's simple, yet it feels difficult. Because most of us were conditioned to look outside of ourselves for validation. We've been taught to measure progress by evidence in the outer world instead of recognizing that everything originates within. In the quantum model, reality is not linear. It does not unfold because of cause and effect in the way we were taught. Reality shifts based on resonance. When your inner state resonates with a certain possibility, you collapse the wave of potential into a particle, and that experience becomes your reality. You don't wait for the outer world to give you signs. The outer world waits for you to decide who you are being. Think of it like tuning a radio. If you want to hear a certain station, you don't wait for a sign that the station is there. You trust it exists, you turn the dial, and you align your receiver with the right frequency. The moment you tune in, the music begins to play. The station didn't suddenly appear, it was always broadcasting. The same is true for your desires. The quantum field is already broadcasting every possible reality, but you only hear, see, and live the one you are tuned to. Signs may show up along the way, but they are simply echoes of your frequency, not the source of it. This is why focusing on your inner state is the most powerful thing you can do. When you ground yourself in the energy of gratitude, trust, and certainty, the external world adjusts automatically. You don't need to control when or how. The field is infinitely intelligent, and it arranges the right people, opportunities, and synchronicities in ways your logical mind could never plan. What feels like coincidence or a sign is actually just a natural reflection of the alignment you already held. When you stop chasing signs and instead focus on the truth, that your inner state is the cause and your external reality is the effect, you reclaim your power. You stop waiting for permission from the outside world and begin living as though what you desire is already true. And as soon as you do that, the universe has no choice but to mirror it back to you. Because in the quantum model, reality is not something you pursue, it's something you become. And the moment you become it, your reality shifts effortlessly in your favor. Signs are powerful, but not in the way most people think. They are not instructions, not a cosmic GPS telling you where to go next, and not a secret code you must decipher to unlock your desires. Instead, signs are reflections of your inner state, mirrors of the energy you are radiating into the quantum field. When you understand this, you no longer give away your power to external symbols, because you realize they only ever echo back what you already are. The universe is not sending signs to guide you step by step like breadcrumbs. It is showing you where your frequency currently stands. Imagine walking past a mirror and seeing yourself smiling. The mirror didn't make you smile, it simply reflected what you already expressed. The same is true with signs. When you see repeating numbers, hear someone say a phrase that's been on your heart, or notice synchronicities lining up, it's not the universe telling you what to do. It's the universe showing you that your vibration is in alignment. And when you see a lack of signs, it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It only means the mirror isn't reflecting back what you're waiting to see, because you're still searching outside instead of embodying within. The challenge comes when people misinterpret signs as commands. For example, you may see a certain number sequence and immediately start questioning, does this mean I should take action now? Does this mean it's close? Does this mean I should wait? This overanalysis creates resistance because you begin living in your head, chasing interpretations, instead of living in your heart, embodying the state of being. Signs are not here to give you certainty, they are here to confirm the certainty you already hold. That is a very different energy. When you understand that signs are reflections, they become gentle reminders rather than obsessions. They remind you that you are attuned, that you are present, and that your inner state is actively creating. But they are never the source of your manifestation. The source is always you. And here lies the great truth. The more you need signs, the less you are aligned, because need comes from lack. But when you release the obsession and simply trust, signs naturally multiply. They show up everywhere, not because you chase them, but because you no longer need them to feel secure. This shift in perspective is incredibly liberating. Instead of constantly scanning the environment for feathers, songs, or numbers, you begin scanning yourself, your emotions, your thoughts, your beliefs. You ask, am I living as though it's already done? Because if you are, the signs don't matter anymore. You no longer look for proof because you already feel the reality within. And ironically, when you stop searching, signs often pour in like an overflow, as if the universe is joyfully reflecting back the power you've stepped into. The most important thing to remember is that signs mirror energy, not dictate it. They are the shadows cast by the light of your inner alignment. The stronger and steadier your light, the clearer the reflection becomes. But it is never the reflection that changes you. It is always the source of light within. When you realize this, you stop chasing shadows and instead focus on shining brighter, embodying deeper, aligning more fully with the reality you desire. And from that place, signs no longer control your journey. They simply decorate it, like confirmations of a truth you already know. One of the biggest mistakes people make when working with manifestation is over-focusing on signs, analyzing them, waiting for them, and measuring their progress by whether or not the universe seems to be sending them. At first, it feels innocent. Seeing repeating numbers, hearing a song lyric that feels personal, or noticing a coincidence can be exciting. But when your entire sense of progress or alignment becomes tied to whether or not these signs appear, you unknowingly create resistance. Instead of allowing your manifestation to flow naturally, you begin tightening your grip, questioning and doubting. This constant monitoring sends a subtle but powerful signal to the quantum field. I don't believe it's here yet. I still need proof. The problem is that the quantum field doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. So, if your energy is filled with searching and waiting, then your reality continues to reflect searching and waiting. You attract more situations where you feel like you're almost there but not quite, because that's the state of being you're embodying. Over-focusing on signs keeps you in a cycle of chasing instead of receiving. It ties your nervous system to a state of lack, where your body is on alert for evidence, rather than resting in the certainty that the outcome already exists. Think about it this way. If you ordered something online, you wouldn't stand at the door every minute constantly checking for the delivery truck. You would trust that it's on its way because you know you placed the order. You might glance out the window occasionally, but your life doesn't stop while you wait. You continue living, confident the package will arrive. But when people obsess over signs, it's like pacing by the door endlessly, wondering if the order was received, wondering if the driver is coming, and in that constant checking, they exhaust themselves and delay the experience of simply enjoying life until the delivery arrives. This obsession also drains the very energy you need to create. Manifestation is not about control. It's about alignment. The more you try to control when and how signs appear, the further you drift from the state of trust that actually accelerates your manifestation. When your energy is relaxed, when you are confident and detached from the outcome, the field reorganizes itself with ease to deliver what matches that calm certainty. But when your energy is tense, over-sacred and impatient, the signal you send out is fragmented, and the reflection you get back is fragmented too. The irony is that signs are meant to be encouraging, not consuming. They are meant to be subtle nods of alignment, not the lifeline that determines your entire faith in the process. When you allow them to become the center of your attention, you give away your power. You make the reflection more important than the source. And this is where resistance builds. Because instead of embodying your desire, you're waiting for the universe to convince you it's real. That waiting energy blocks the very flow you are trying to invite in. The way forward is to release the need for constant reassurance. To understand that signs are not the manifestation, they are only echoes of it. You don't need to look for echoes when you already carry the sound. When you turn your focus inward and rest in the energy of already having, you create a natural flow where the universe responds effortlessly. Signs may still appear, but now they are a bonus, not a requirement. They remind you of alignment, instead of becoming the condition for your belief. And the moment you stop needing signs to prove that your reality is shifting, you allow it to shift more quickly, more powerfully, and more completely than you ever imagined. The real key to quantum manifestation is not chasing, not forcing, and not obsessing. It is embodiment. To embody means to live as if what you desire is already yours, to anchor yourself in the state of having rather than the state of waiting. Most people spend their days vibrating in the frequency of wanting, and wanting by its very nature is a signal of not having. The quantum field reflects exactly that energy back, so what continues to show up in their lives is more reasons to keep wanting. The shift happens when you stop waiting for your reality to change and instead begin living as though it already has. Embodiment is not pretending or playing make-believe. It is about training your nervous system to feel safe, at peace, and aligned with the version of reality you are calling in. If you desire love, for example, embodying it doesn't mean clinging to signs that love is coming or constantly visualizing someone arriving. It means carrying yourself in a way that reflects being loved now. Taking care of yourself, speaking kindly to yourself, treating yourself with the same tenderness you expect from a partner. When you do this, the quantum field reads your energy as complete, as fulfilled, and it mirrors back experiences that match that frequency. Think of it like tuning into a radio station. You don't demand the station play your song and then wait, scanning for signs that it might eventually play. You simply set the dial to the frequency, and once you're tuned in, you hear the music. Embodiment is exactly that, setting your internal dial to the frequency of your desired reality. The moment you do, you begin experiencing it internally, and soon after, it begins reflecting externally. But if you keep tuning the dial back to the station of doubt, lack, and searching, you'll never fully hear the song that's already playing. This is where so many get stuck. They think signs are proof of their progress, but in truth, their progress is shown by how fully they embody the state of being. If you can walk through your day feeling calm, grateful, confident, and already fulfilled, that is more powerful than 1,000 signs, because in that state you are no longer seeking reassurance, you are radiating alignment. You are not trying to convince yourself, it has become your natural frequency, and when something becomes natural to you, the universe cannot help but reflect it. Embodiment also requires letting go of time. When you are embodied, you are not measuring how long it's taking or counting the days since you started your practice. You are living in the reality now, so the question of when loses its grip. The more you embody, the less you chase. The less you chase, the faster the reality collapses around you. This is why quantum manifestation is often described as effortless, not because nothing is required, but because what is required is not struggle, but alignment. Living from the end, as many teachers describe it, is simply embodiment. It's carrying yourself as the version of you who already has what you desire. It's acting, thinking, and feeling from that place until it becomes second nature. And once it does, your outer reality has no choice but to shift, because the quantum field mirrors the vibration you hold most consistently. So instead of waiting for more signs, instead of questioning every coincidence, ask yourself, am I living as the person who already has this? If the answer is yes, then you are already there. The signs, the synchronicities, and eventually the physical reality will only rise to meet you. The most powerful truth about quantum manifestation is that the reality you are waiting for is not in the future. It is already here, existing in the infinite field of possibilities. Every version of you, every potential timeline, every dream you've ever had already exists as a vibration in the quantum field. The only difference between the life you are living now and the life you want to live is the frequency you are tuned into. When you stop chasing, when you stop looking for proof, when you stop waiting for signs, you begin to realize that your desired reality is not something you attract, it is something you align with. The nervous system plays a key role in this process. When your body is locked in survival mode, constantly doubting, constantly scanning, constantly searching, you are too tense to receive. You're broadcasting a signal of fear, lack, and urgency, and that signal keeps you stuck in a loop of the same experiences. But when you calm your nervous system, when you step into trust and relaxation, you open yourself up to the frequency where your desire already exists. It's like clearing static from a radio. You can't hear the music if the signal is clouded, but once you relax the interference, the station comes through loud and clear. This is why so many people feel like they are close to manifesting but can't quite get there. They keep waiting for a breakthrough moment or a dramatic sign from the universe, when in truth the breakthrough comes from within. It happens the moment you release the tension of waiting and embody the knowing that what you desire is already here. That calm certainty shifts your vibration instantly. Suddenly, You no longer feel separate from your manifestation. You feel one with it. That unity collapses time, making what once felt far away appear right in front of you. It's also important to understand that the universe does not withhold from you. There is no external force deciding whether or not you are worthy of your desire. The only gatekeeper between you and your reality is the story you tell yourself and the energy you consistently embody. If you tell yourself you're still waiting, you will keep waiting. If you tell yourself it's already done, you will start to live in the reality where it is done. The field responds to what you are, not what you are hoping for. That is the deepest secret of manifestation, and yet it is the simplest. When you truly allow yourself to rest in this truth, everything shifts. The desperation falls away. The chasing dissolves. The endless questioning of when and how no longer matters. Instead, you wake up in gratitude, you move through your day with trust, and you carry yourself in the energy of already having. And when you do, life begins to mirror it back in ways that feel almost effortless. Synchronicities, opportunities, people, and events line up with precision, not because you forced them, but because you matched their frequency. The irony is that when you stop needing signs, more signs appear. When you stop needing proof, the proof shows up in abundance. When you stop chasing, what you desire begins chasing you. That is the quantum paradox. Everything you think you need to run after is already running toward you, the moment you align. And all it takes is one decision, to stop living as the person who is waiting and start living as the person who already has it. That is when you realize your quantum reality was never waiting to be created, it was waiting for you to step into it.